So if you're watching this, I'm going to show you the exact system that we use to track insider trading in the stock market through public SEC filings and turn them into a profitable trading strategy, all while spending less than 10 minutes per month managing it. This system has a 6-year track record. Over 100 clients have been using it since 2022. And it's built using a proprietary AI-driven research process that I'll explain more in the rest of this video. We also have 48 5-star reviews that are posted on the screen right now, and you can also see all these in full on our website if you don't believe me. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you've never traded before and you're brand new, you've been burned before and you lost money with trading, or you're already profitable, but you just want another edge to add to your arsenal. The execution is the same, and I'll show you exactly how it works. And with insider trading hitting record levels that we haven't seen before, and with most people still completely ignoring these filings for some reason, it's one of the biggest edges in the stock market. And I'm not sure how long this will last for, so this is why we're capitalizing on it while we can. So here's what I'm going to cover in this video. First, I'm going to talk about how insiders legally front run their own stocks and why this pattern keeps repeating. Then exactly what you get as a client if you were to work with us, and how the entire experience works from alert to execution. Then how we used AI to build this system, and I'll be specific. I'm not going to just throw around a bunch of AI buzzwords. And finally, how to take the next step after this if you think it's a fit. Here's an example so you can see what we're working with. On the screen now, you can see Toyota, the largest car company in the world, bought about $250 million worth of a flying car startup called JOBY at $5 per share. And then a month later, the stock was over $10 per share. So that was over a $250 million profit for Toyota just from that one insider purchase that was sitting on a filing public that anyone could read. This happens constantly. Insiders buy, the filing goes public, and the stock moves. And I've seen this pattern repeat across every sector, every market condition, and every year for the last 6 years. And I'm saying that based off watching it for real in real time, and also just looking at and analyzing all of the filings based on the past 6 years. Of course, not every example is dramatic as Toyota. That's a pretty extreme one, but I like to use it just because it's a company that everyone knows about. And if you're sitting there asking yourself, how the heck is this not illegal? You're asking the right question. The buying itself is legal as long as they disclose the purchase, and it's legal for us to copy the insider. So the strategy is kind of similar to illegal insider trading, where the company executive directly tells us to buy the stock because they know something good is happening, except they're obviously not telling us to buy. We're just looking at their purchases. Now, question is, and this is what I ask myself, am I going to be frustrated about this, the fact that these insiders are profiting off insider information, or am I just going to use it to my benefit? And that's what I'll ask you right now. Hopefully it's the latter, and now that you've seen how this pattern works in the real world, let me show you why most people unfortunately never have profited from it and how we fix that. Because here's the reality most people are stuck in. You've watched the market go up for years, you know that there's money to be made, but you fall into one of these buckets most likely. First, your cash isn't even deployed. It's sitting on the sidelines getting eaten away by inflation, and it's getting worse. Like in 10 years, your cash will be worth 50% less than it is right now. Second, you try to invest, but you buy something based on a tip, a Reddit post, some guy in Discord, or maybe even like a real financial advisor, but you've lost money. Or it's worked a little bit, but then you gave back the gains. Or third, maybe you are making money. This is great. If you're in this group, this is the best. You're making money already, but it's taking way too much time and effort right now, and you just want something more efficient. Or maybe you're actually making a lot of money and it's efficient and you're not spending a ton of time, but you just want something else to add to your arsenal for diversification reasons. And that makes sense too. No matter which bucket you're in, we have clients who started just like you, and Wall Street Vision is designed to solve your exact problem. Wall Street Vision is a trading signals and coaching service that gives clients access to our highest conviction insider tracking trades and the guidance to capitalize on them effectively. If after an interview with our team, we believe that there's a strong fit and we invite you in, you'll gain access to our custom software, our qualified trade alerts, daily trade plans, and unlimited one-on-one execution support. We offer full transparency into our process as well as hands-on support, so clients both understand how to execute each trade as well as the theory behind each one. No one's left behind wondering what to do with the signals that they paid for. So the rest of this video is going to be a high-level breakdown of what clients get and how the relationship works, so that if any of this is interesting to you, you can book a call with us and we can go over it more in depth. And while a good portion of our clients are already successful traders just looking to improve consistency, increase efficiency, or add another system to what's already working, most people who have come to us have been burned before. They've tried trading and it ate up their time. They've followed strategies and they've lost money. They've paid for courses that taught theory but never actually showed them how to execute. They've stared at charts and indicators and ended up more confused than when they started. We even had a client come to us saying they'd been spending $200 a month for a Telegram channel, getting 15 alerts a day, but with no explanation, no support. So that is the exact opposite of what we do. And if any of that sounds like your situation, I just want to say again, we built this specifically for you to be the opposite of that. With Wall Street Vision, execution is designed to be simple. There are only usually a few trades a month. And once you understand the process, keeping up with everything takes only 5 to 10 minutes a month because we follow a quality over quantity approach. So we don't want to waste our time arbitrarily trading, working more for worse results, and obviously neither do you. This isn't like a 9 to 5 job or trading time for money where the more you do, the more you make. This is all about tracking and looking for the highest quality setups, being patient, and only taking them when they actually come up. And I just want to stress, like, think about what this actually would mean for your life. You're not glued to a screen. You're not stressed about missing a 5 minute trading window. You're not refreshing your phone at dinner, like while you're taking care of your kids or something. You check in briefly when an alert comes in after you have a moment, which is usually around 9 p.m. Eastern. And then as long as you execute within the next 12 hours, meaning you click one button to set up a buy, you're good to go. Our strategy holds positions from anywhere from 7 to 30 days. So even if you miss a trade by a full day, like you execute not the next morning, not the next afternoon, but like the next morning after that, you're still good because the average gain per trade is large enough where these timing differences don't really matter usually. So this is trading that fits into your life. It's not trading that becomes your life, which is unfortunately what many strategies are. And people end up trading trying to get freedom and only end up creating something that takes freedom away from them. So even if you're in meetings or you're taking care of your kid or you're just doing whatever you do in your life, you're good. Like, I built this system for myself originally so I could move to Hawaii and hang out at the beach most of the day. I don't really do that anymore, but let's just say if I could trade and do that with my life, you can trade and do whatever you want with your life. So with Wall Street Vision, you're basically buying a done-for-you trading system built around our software, our signals, and our coaching so that you can increase your income without sacrificing your time and actually get more freedom in your life. So if you've heard enough already and want to see if this is a good fit, you can book a call right now. The link is below. And if you want to understand how the system was built and why it works in more detail, then just keep watching. So now that you've seen what clients get and how little time it takes, you might be wondering what makes this different from every other alert service and trading program. And that really comes down to what Wall Street Vision is not. This is not just a Discord, a Telegram, or a Signal channel where we basically post a bunch of alerts for you to blindly follow. This isn't also a black box where you have no idea how the strategy works. And this is not a high frequency day trading strategy where you have to be staring at your computer or giving it constant attention throughout the day. And this is definitely not a get rich quick scheme. This is not something where you pay a bunch of money, get told good luck, and have no support. If you need help, you get help. It's that simple. So in terms of what this actually is, it's a system where you know exactly why you're in every trade. You spend almost no time managing it. And you have a direct line to someone, me and my team, who will help you if anything is unclear. That's what most people actually want from a trading service, from what I understand. And for some reason, almost never get. It's sad. But the peace of mind that comes from understanding like what you own, why you own it, and when to sell it, that changes the entire experience of being in the market. Directly from one of our clients, quote, "It stops feeling like gambling and starts feeling like a process." So now that you know what Wall Street Vision is and what it's not, let me break down the actual relationship. So who does what and what the whole thing looks like day to day. We handle the research, filtering, and alerting of trades, as well as monitoring the performance and improving the entire strategy as both market conditions change, but also as more advanced technology becomes available. All the client has to do is fund and maintain their brokerage account separate from Wall Street Vision, so we never touch your money. The client's sole job is to execute the trades that qualify through our system. Let me reiterate, the client is not responsible for sorting through the thousands of insider filings that come out, figuring out which setups actually matter, deciding when to buy or sell, or guessing on position size. So if you ever stared at your computer screen wondering, what the hell am I supposed to do with all this information? Like that feeling does not exist here. All of that is handled before the alert ever reaches you. And we built software that automatically scans every insider filing, filters for specific patterns that have historically led to the highest probability trades, and delivers only qualified signals to you. So you're not sorting through noise at the end of the day. You're just receiving the answer of what to do. And that answer is delivered in your alert with additional in-depth reasoning explaining why we're doing the trade, available through our daily trade plans feed, tech support, and one-on-one coaching. Alerts can be delivered through SMS, voice calls, Discord, and also email, depending on what you prefer. And then you can easily submit the trade through our custom trading platform or whatever platform you like to use already. Our job overall is just to make the process as simple as possible and super easy to follow. And if a client wants to spend more time with us learning how the strategy works, of course they can, but keeping up with the trades themselves, as I've said, is a very low time commitment. And also, just for example, we also built monitoring tools that let us see how clients are doing. So if someone misses a trade or makes an error, we can proactively reach out to them and help them correct it before it's too late. For example, we had a situation where a new client forgot to set up an order. Then I texted them and they were able to buy the stock in time and then made like $3,000 extra because of that. So that's the level of hands-on support that we're talking about. This isn't just, here's your signals, good luck. Like, this is us trading with you basically and making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. The takeaway here is simple. Your only job is to execute when we tell you to. Everything else, the research, the filtering, the monitoring, the improvement of the strategy over time, that's on us. Now, most people want to know at this point, like, why does the system actually work? What's behind it? That's the part I want to be completely transparent about because it's really what separates us from everyone else in the space. So at the time of making this video, this strategy now has a 6-year track record. It's March 21st, 2026. And you can see every trade the system has ever made on our website. Our testing and historical results go back to 2020, and paid clients have been using the system profitably since 2022. And we've always used the best available technology to improve the strategy. And in terms of how we use AI, for example, I just want to say this. We know AI has become like a buzzword in the space, and it really means nothing because everyone's lying. Everyone says they're using it, but really isn't. So let me be super specific about like how we actually use AI, how we did it, and why it matters for your results. Early 2025 is really when our team began using more advanced AI tools to test more strategy variations, improve filtering, and refine entry and exit timing, while still keeping the system rules-based and risk managed. More specifically, we use large language models like Claude Opus 4.6 and also GPT-5 to help build what are effectively autonomous quantitative research agents. So these agents can generate hypotheses, write and review research code, run tests, analyze historical market data, and just overall test like millions of different strategy combinations that I could never even think of before. The result of all this has been a 2x improvement in performance. I'm talking both returns and also like reduction of risk, while preserving the same rules-based risk managed structure that makes the strategy scalable. The takeaway for you is simple. You don't need to understand how to build AI agents or write code. You just need to know that the system behind your alerts has been tested much more rigorously than anything else in the space. And it's just going to keep improving because we are extremely committed to staying ahead of the curve with new AI technology, and we're not going to fall behind. And that way, none of our clients ever fall behind too. So now that you've seen the proof, you know what clients get, and you understand a little bit about the technology behind this, the last question is really, is this a right fit for you specifically? At the end of the day, what most people want from their investments is pretty straightforward. They want to make money consistently. They want to understand what they're doing and why. They want to spend their time living their life, not managing the portfolio. And they want to know that if something goes wrong or they have a question, that someone is there to help. And that's exactly what we built. But still, everyone's experiences, goals, and financial situation are different. So we don't just throw a checkout link to you at this point and say, give us money after watching this video. Instead, we set up a two-way interview where we can learn more about your situation, where you can ask us questions and we can answer all of them. And we can walk through how this approach would or would not work for you specifically. So if what you've heard so far sounds interesting, you can go ahead and book that call below now. Again, I'll stress this, the point of the call is not to pressure you into signing up. It's really just to figure out whether there's a fit and discuss what it could look like to work together. We also keep a very limited client list because every strategy has its capacity limit, and we want to ensure the success of all of our existing clients. So we're only going to move forward if we're confident that we can help produce a strong ROI for you. And if not for any reason, we'll tell you directly and point you in another direction that makes sense. Also, after you book, we'll ask you to review a few resources so the conversation can be as productive as possible. There's the terminal page on our site, the results, the methodology page, and the about page, all within the pre-call material portal below. And the goal here is simple. Like, you should be making money if you use this strategy. And if that's not happening or you're not satisfied for whatever reason after going through the process with us, then we don't want to keep your money. We're not interested in collecting payments from people who aren't getting results. It's just going to result in bad reviews, chargebacks, and refunds. There's literally no point in doing that. It's not scalable. So, and that's really not a business. It's just a scam. And we have refund protections in place for that reason. So I'll just say this, our business only works and grows when our clients are happy and profitable. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that happens. And if it doesn't happen, you'll get your money back. Before you click off, I just want you to think about what this would actually feel like to have this all handled. You get an alert, you know exactly what to do. You execute in a few minutes, you go on with your day. And over time, you watch your account grow, but not because you're getting lucky, not because you're glued to a screen, but because you're following a tested system with real support behind it. That's what we're offering. And if you heard enough now and you want to see whether it's a fit, please select the time below. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to meeting you.